I doubt anyone here will find it hard to believe that for most of my life I've done things my way. Oh, it was worse. It used to be worse. When I was a young adult, I created 5-year plans for what I wanted to accomplish in my career and in my life. And I admit that God was not a big part of the planning process. All of that changed in August of 1997. My first husband was diagnosed with stage 4 terminal cancer. From the start, he and the people around him, his church friends, his family, tried everything to prevail over death. He tried various chemotherapies. He had 2 bone marrow transplants. He tried cutting-edge experimental drugs. When his health worsened, his church family organized prayer vigils. They brought in a faith healer, even an exorcist. Now, don't get me wrong, I absolutely believe in the healing touch of God. I even know people who have experienced healing miracles. But in this case, that didn't happen. And in the end, he suffered a very painful death. So afterwards, his disillusioned friends turned away and his family lashed out in grief and anger. As the dust was settling, I found myself outside in my backyard one morning looking around, and I noticed that the last time I'd paid any attention to what was going on, the autumn leaves were turning from green to yellow, and now I looked around and the daffodils were blooming. So I started talking to God. Hey, God, what are you doing to me down here? I'm feeling kind of beat up right about now. Anybody ever have that? All right. I thought about what I had just experienced, and it occurred to me that the idea that I could control my life, that I could plan my destiny, was a myth, a scam. All of those 5-year plans, and then wham, I got hit with a sucker punch. Suddenly, I was a self-employed widow. Doing things my way wasn't working out all that great. So I told God I was ready to try things his way. I was ready to try his plan for my life. After the way I had taken God for granted all those years, I was astonished to find how faithful he remained to me. He surrounded me with church friends, many of you. Over time, he sent me teaching employment, a wonderful new husband, and he challenged me to launch the Why I Love Jesus ministry. What does God really want from us? To love him with all our heart, soul, mind, and strength? To love our neighbors as ourselves? To trust and obey his plan for our lives? To share the good news of the gospel with all people? We live in a time when families must decide between sending their kids to soccer camp or to Sunday school, where people are encouraged to hate each other because of the way they look or the way they dress or the way they think. We live in a world where even after 600,000 deaths from COVID in this country and 4 million deaths worldwide, people don't seem to be flocking to churches. They don't seem to be turning to God. Well, God can certainly fix this mess, but I think he's counting on us for help. Perhaps people don't turn to God because no one has ever shared with them the love and saving grace of Jesus Christ. Maybe they don't turn to their local church because no one's ever invited them and told them about the joys and benefits of belonging to a community of believers. Ordinary Christians like us can not only feed the hungry like we do at the soup kitchen and through Neighborhood House, but we can feed the downhearted in our community and all over the world by sharing our real faith stories of what God has done in our lives. Why do we love Jesus? Because he first loved us. He came to earth to teach us. He died on a cross to save us. He loves us. So let's be brave. Let's have a little courage. Let's share the love of Jesus Christ with others. Amen?
Amen.
All righty.